In this video, let's assess what we may need to get our priorities straight. And I'll start with the rocks in a bucket analogy. So take this cup and let it represent your typical day. So I need to fill this cup with some big rocks, which are high priority, urgent tasks, medium rocks, important but not urgent tasks, and pebbles, the non-important leisure activities. If I start filling this cup with some pebbles, assuming I have the whole cup to fill, then try to fill in the medium rocks, and finally my big rocks, I'll run out of room. I had no more time or space for the important and urgent tasks. But if I start with my big rocks, then my medium rocks, then fill all the gaps with my pebbles, we can see that the cup was filled properly. My day was filled properly, and I was very productive and still had time for some leisure. So we have to assess our big rocks, medium rocks, and pebbles in our day-to-day lives. It'll help cut out some aspects of our life to save our time and dedicate it to more important and urgent tasks.
So I'm in a position now where I need to put some of my projects and activities on hold. So I'm starting a part-time job. My film business is starting to flourish. I'm doing more things for my church as far as graphics and video, and then some more leadership roles. So in order for me to be successful in those things, I need to carve out some time in my day to better focus on those things. I need to, in this season, give myself some structure, because without that structure, without restrictions and things to kind of shift my focus to what's important, then I'm just kind of giving my time away to whatever frivolous thing, like getting on social media, watching Netflix or whatever, versus focusing and putting actual effort into what really matters. So with all that said, now the question is, how do we prioritize?
Start off by making a list of all the things you have going on regularly. Whether it's school, your job, and your personal projects, book readings, housework, yard work, anything you typically fill your day or weeks with. Now use that list to start plugging in those subjects into a high priority, a medium priority, and a low priority list. Now this may take a few tries because as you finish your list, you might see more things on your high priority or medium priority list that should not be there. Next, schedule every day of the week. Start plugging in on those days your high priority tasks. Put them at the beginning of the day if your schedule allows it. Two things that I've found to be very helpful in structuring my days is to create blocks or chunks of tasks. For example, my morning routine includes exercise and Bible reading, so that's its own chunk of the day. Then I create my next chunk. This helps to break up my day so I'm not looking at one long list that I really can't work with properly. In this step, it also helps to pair tasks that have a similar subject or method. For example, I like to chunk my video editing and graphics projects together so that I know that for this chunk of the day, I'm focusing on editing and other computer-based tasks. The second addition to this step is to give yourself a time frame, like 30 minutes to an hour. If giving yourself a specific time of the day to work on something works for you, then go for it. This is just what I found works for me. And a bonus tip, something that I don't do but is an option, is to color code your tasks or chunks of the day. On your list of tasks, highlight or mark each category with a certain color and apply it to your daily planner. Maybe use red for urgent, yellow or green for important, and blue for leisure. I also learned that it's okay to schedule my leisure tasks if I know that I'll have time for it.
So after maybe trying this out for a week, you'll start to find you have a lot more time in the evenings, depending on how you set your schedule, for that leisure time, for that window to just relax and chill and just, hang out for the night. So I want to urge you to take all of this information with a grain of salt. These methods are what I've used to help me be productive, but it's not necessarily guaranteed to work with somebody else's personality and structure and their schedule and whatnot. So I want this to serve more as an inspiration for those who are watching to get an idea of how to get started prioritizing, and just kind of planting that seed in your head to think that some of these things I have going on are not a big priority, so I need to put the high priority tasks in front of that, put those first. And speaking of priorities, I have to address something regarding this channel. For me to be able to put out the same level of content, and even in regards to trying to put out better content, I'm going to have to start putting out videos every other week as opposed to every week, because it'll free me up a little bit and give me a little more time to focus on each video rather than stressing out and rushing trying to get each one edited, because then I have to kind of give myself less to edit, and then the videos you see won't be as good as it can be. I had an issue with that last video. I felt rushed and I just put it out on YouTube, and like the day after it was on, before it was actually officially ready on Friday, I took it off because I realized I didn't put enough effort into it. I needed to take some more time to put some more stuff in it so it's not boring. It's not just watching me ramble for 17 minutes. So that's kind of where my head is with this channel. And with everything else I got going on, I'm just trying to focus on, I'm trying to pull some things out of my schedule that I don't need to do. And then stuff like this, things that aren't necessary but I have a big passion for pursuing, I gotta find a way to make that work with the schedule that I have and the things that I have coming up. So that's it for this week. That's it for this week and the next week, I guess. If you found this video helpful, I wanted to encourage you to share this with your friends, to share this with somebody who may have a busy schedule or who may not know how to prioritize your schedule. I would love for this to get out, not just for the views, but to actually help somebody, to actually get inspiration and plant those seeds of productivity and proper prioritization. So until next time, deuces.